Hello students. Now we are going to talk about this ramp. Ramp means randomly amplified microsatellite polymorphism. This is another PCR based marker technique. Here in this case we have to consider this microsatellite regions within the genome. Suppose this is the genome. This is the microsatellite DNA region within that. This microsatellite means they are highly repeated DNA or repetitive DNA sequences within the genome. They shows a high degree of polymorphism because the DNA polymerase enzymes they experiences difficulty to copy these regions because sometimes during DNA replication this DNA polymerase strips some of the nucleotides or that can add some of the nucleotides at this particular region. So the length of this microsatellite may vary from individual to individual, or the sequences of these microsatellite regions that can vary from individual to individual. That's why these regions are known as variable number tangent repeated regions or hypervariable regions, HVR regions. You can see another sequence over here, that is GCTAT. This is not at all a microsatellite DNA or repeated DNA sequence. This is a unique sequence just outside of the microsatellite region. Here in the case, you have to design primers to recognize or detect these microsatellite regions of genomes. But the problem is that if you design a primer in such a way that it carries only these repeat sequences or that carries only regions that can recognize these repeats, then that particular primer can recognize these microsatellites at anywhere within the microsatellite area. For example, this particular primer that can bind at here and the reverse may bind at here, then only this particular fragment of microsatellite may get amplified in the PCR. Suppose if it binds, the forward binds at here and the reverse binds at here, then this particular fragment, so a short region, only that get amplified in the PCR. If a primer forward one binds at here and the reverse binds at here, then this particular fragment of the microsatellite region get amplified. That means here in one PCR itself you may get a different or varied number of products. This is not at all a promising result while we considering to detect the polymorphisms within the microsatellite regions. That what you have to do is that you have to bring the primers at the end of the microsatellite region. So that means the primer should bind at this place and the reverse one binds at this place. You cannot bring the primers at anywhere within the genome. So for that, care must be taken to design a primer. That means here in this case of this primer, you have to introduce an anchor region at a 5' end. Anchor region means suppose CGATA. This anchor region that recognizes the unique DNA region that is lying just outside of the microsatellite region. So this anchor region of the primer that brings the primer at the end of the microsatellite DNA. That way you have to design a reverse primer as well. That reverse primer should bind somewhere here. So you have to design in such a way that it should contain 3' repeat and a 5' anchor region. This anchor region should recognize a sequences somewhere at this place. Then thereafter you have to amplify this genome with your designed primers. That means ramp primers in the presence or absence of rapid primers. That means you have to amplify the microsatellite DNA regions with your RAM primers in the presence or absence of rapid primers. So here you have to carry out two reactions, one with the rapid primer and another without rapid primers. In both of these reaction tubes you have to add RAM primers. That means the RAM primer is common in both tubes and the rapid primer is present in one tube and in the another reaction tube it doesn't have. Then you have to carry out a PCR reaction. These are some of the features of the RAM primers, because I have already told you that these RAM primers are designed in such a way that can recognize the ends of the microsatellite region. So these are sequence specific primers, but in the case of rapid primers, they are designed in such a way that, or hoping that it may bind at somewhere in the genome, and those regions, if it binds, then those regions may get amplified, otherwise not. Because RAM primers that recognizes their target sequence at a high degree of sequence specificity, but the rapid primers, they recognizes at the genome with a lesser degree of sequence specificity. These rapid primers having less melting temperature while we consider with that of the RAM primer. So in the PCR reactions, there are different cycles, you know that. In each cycle itself, there are different steps, especially 3 steps are there. They are denaturing step, primer annealing step, and primer extraction step. Denaturation means at a high temperature around 94 degrees Celsius, the sample DNA will get denatured, and then it will, that means a double stranded DNA will get denatured to form single stranded DNA. Then the temperature will bring down. Temperature, the primer can recognize at the target sequences. That temperature is known as annealing temperature. And then thereafter you have to bring the temperature back to a temperature that is optimal for DNA polymerases to work with. That temperature is primer extension step. So if you carry out PCR reactions at a higher annealing temperature, then only RAM primer can bind at there. If you bring the temperature down, annealing temperature down, then both RAM primer and rapid primer can bind at the target sequences. That means in PCR cycles at a low annealing temperature, both RAM primer and rapid primer can anneal, but at a higher annealing temperature, only RAM primers can anneal. So PCR with a low annealing temperature, then RAM primer and rapid primer anneals, and bands of both primers will get in the gel. Then in the PCR with higher annealing temperature, then only RAM primers can anneal at target sequences, so only RAM bands may be get in the gel. This pattern can be compared with the patterns with the other organisms or other individuals, so you can experience differences in that.